Hello gamers, welcome to another edition of Tonight on Mage Hammer's Game Table, where tonight I'm continuing my series featuring the Amazing Adventures role-playing game by Troll Games. It's a multi-genre RPG that's based on their Castles and Crusades fantasy role-playing game, which is a standard in the industry. And so they have recently reforged Amazing Adventures as well as their Castles and Crusades line to come into line with you know, where they are in their thing. So this is the third printing of this game, and it is basically runs on the Siege engine, which you will see in action tonight, I assume. And yeah, so last episode, a team of Galaxy Force investigators. They are Sethor Mock, Crowell, I never get his name right. I created his name. Crowtall of Clan Takar. And next is Casella. She is an Eld mentalist. And they are tasked with hunting down a rogue robot that attacked the CEO of a robotics company. They left their engineer and his assistant at the factory to try to figure out if something in the factory itself caused the robot to go rogue, and they themselves have done some information gathering and have found themselves down in the sewers below the city. So, with that in mind, we now go right to the action, and they're going to head down their sewer now. So, they come down on this platform, and Sethor Mock says, well, I guess we're going to have to get my scanner up and running. And Casella says, it smells exceptionally nice down here. Yes, I did some research on the way in to the planet, and apparently they have a very advanced filtration system down here. And that helps filter out a lot of the toxic things. They also have a lot of robots working and maintaining the sewage equipment. So it all plays out pretty well. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I never thought I'd know that much about sewage on this planet. Okay, anyway, so what do you guys suggest? What do we do? Well, okay. I think you should scan ahead and see if we can come up with large amounts of metal. Yes, I think some of the pipes down here are metal, though. My readings may do. So I say we continue on. Let me bring up a map. So he brings up a map of the city on his data pad. So we're actually quite far from the factory itself, but I guess that makes sense. I doubt that the robot would hang out near his factory if he's trying to escape from it. Yeah, let's continue forward and see what we can find. Yeah, I suppose. I guess we should be very careful down here. It seems well maintained, smells nice, but I don't know. I think we're looking kind of for a robot in a haystack. This is a massive city. Yes, well, I will forge ahead with my psychic senses to see if I can see anything living going forward, but that's not going to help me with the robot. No, it isn't. So I guess I will keep up my data pad and we'll keep scanning for metallic signs and see what happens. All right, follow me. I'm going to go on this side just in case. Yes. I'll follow the big guy. Thank you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I have several sewer tiles that I have from the Dungeon Tiles Reincarnated line by Wizards of the Coast. And I have shuffled them randomly off to the side here off camera. And I'm going to roll randomly to see what kind of tile gets laid down. And then, like, every 2 tiles, I'm going to roll for some kind of encounter. And since these sewers are pretty, for the most part, I guess empty for the most part, if I roll a 1, there is some kind of encounter. And then I'll roll it again, and if it's a 6, they will have a meaningful encounter to the story. So that's kind of the system I have set up here, at least in my mind, and we'll see how this goes. So they're heading down the hall, and so we roll this kind of tile. All right, that works. So this, I guess I could see what goes in there. Okay. Yeah, so let's look down this way and we'll see what's down that way. I think because of the size, I'm gonna block it off because I don't want to go that way because it's the camera. So there's a dead end there. All right. Let me see what's down here. So we'll roll this way, a better chance. So that is also going to be another long tile, which will take us off of there. So what I'll do is, there we go. And that's pretty much off the screen. So we'll say it dead ends there. Looks like the only way is forward. So, all right, follow me. So we go back around. He's going this way. And then he catches up. And then of course I will push the whole thing this way, keep it on camera, and to see which direction they go now. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna roll, and it is another long piece. Love the long pieces, that's fine. And now let's roll for an encounter. Roll a 1 to encounter something. No encounter. All right, so according to the map, we still obviously have a ways to go, so let's get going. All right, so I think because they're so far away, they're gonna head to the factory and see, cover the area between here and the factory, as you heard. I'm going to roll from this point on to see if they have encounters for every hour. And then if an encounter comes up, I will roll another sewer tile and we'll see where we are with that. I think that's reasonable. So for now, kind of put these back into the shuffle pile. Shuffle the tiles up. And we'll see where we go. All right. So, so that was, we'll call it an hour's gone by when they rolled an encounter. Second hour, no encounter. Third hour, no encounter. I'm not sensing anything. I'm not really seeing anything on my scanner either. Fourth hour, fifth hour, sixth hour, seventh hour. I don't think I've ever rolled this many D6s without rolling a 1. That's usually how my luck goes. Seventh hour. Oh, there we go. So we have an encounter. I'll roll up some tiles to see where we're sitting here. Let's roll a tile here. Okay, that's going to be a long tile. So they turned a corner there. Okay, and then we'll roll a tile here. Ooh, that is one of these. Okay, so that goes out to there. And then, so there's no branch off there. So I'm just going to have it be, we'll have it T-junction there. But let's see what the encounter is now. I'm gonna roll to see if it is a creature or a robot. Now, since robots are the maintenance people here, I'll say they're more common. We'll do 1 through 4, and a 5 or 6, it's some kind of organic encounter. And it's gonna be a robot. Now, because they're hunting robots, we're going to see if this robot has anything to do with the robot that escaped. And that'd be I'm gonna say that's only on a 1. And it is. Now, let's just see if the die can tell me if it's the actual robot. It'll be a 1. It is not, but we do have a robot encounter. It has something to do with our robot. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put let's do this. And we'll end that there. Is that still on camera? Yep, perfect. All right, and then we'll see what's down here. Roll for that. It's a long piece, that makes sense. So that'll be good for this encounter. Now, this does have to do with the robot they're missing. So, Sethor's like, wait a second. I'm sensing movement on my scanner. Oh, I sense nothing. I sense no mind ahead. I wonder what it is. Let's see how many there are. D3. So 3 of them. Okay. They come clanking around the corner. And they stop when they see the quote-unquote intruders. Hello. Do you need assistance? No. Let me handle this, please. Scooch over, scooch. Oh, okay. Yes, we are a team searching for a robot that has been, has gone rogue, shall we say. We are not rogue. No, not you. Well, no, we are doing our job. Yeah, I know. Would this robot happen to be of a laborer function? Yes. Not one of our sewer folk? Yes, have you seen him? Yes, we have. Yes. In fact, our leader has told us that anyone who has come to find that robot must be destroyed. What? So, since we do not have ranged weapons, we must now kill you with our arms. Wait, what is going on? He jumps into the water and we're going to roll initiative. Now, initiative in this game is a D10. And we'll also roll it for the robots. All right, so 3. I also modify it by their dexterities. So, so Crowtall got a 3 plus his dex mod, which is 1, so he's going on 4. The robots are going on 3. Good. Casella is going on her dex modifier. She's going on 9, so it's going to be her. Then it's going to be Sethor, and then it'll be that's good though, they get to go Crowtall, and then it'll be the robots. So Casella is like, is this really happening? Are they coming to kill us? Yes. Defend yourself. So she pulls out her blaster pistol, fires at the closest one. She gets a +6 with this, and it does 2d8 damage. These robots, I'm using the old Amazing Adventures Manual Monsters because their Codex Monstrum is not yet out, but it is all compatible, of course, because it's pretty much the same game. And I'm using the robot stats from this book. All right, so all right, she's gonna fire off. She gets a +6. I'm not so sure there's any other modifiers, so we'll see what happens. And she hits a 14, which is a miss. Pew, blaster misses. Now, she has a rate of fire with that blaster pistol. I believe the rate of fire is 3 with a 2. So she's going to fire again, but this time it'll be at -2, so it's only a +4. And she hits with that one. And then the third one, that's at a -4. That is a miss. So she does hit with one of her shots, and she does 2d8 points of damage to this guy here. Ooh, nice. 12 damage. All right, so mark that down. And they have, okay. Record their hit points. All right, so that was her attack. Now we are going to have Sethor Mock attack. Well, flank him, so he moves. Now, in Castle Crusades, you can only move half your movement and attack. So I think I understand why I did that. They wanted just one simple action no matter what, and they gave you a consolation of being able to move half your move and still attack. However, I think it's one of the few house rules I have for this game is they get to move their full movement and still make an action. So that's one of my, I think that might at this point be my only second house rule. First house rule is they start with maximum hit points. Second house rule is they get to move their movement and then also attack. So 10, 20, 30. 5, 10, 20. Yeah. And he's going to fire, he's going to concentrate his fire on the one that she hit. He also has a blaster pistol, so it does have a 3 rate of fire, but at -2 cumulative every time after. So he's going to fire this one anyway. He's going to try to take it down and draw the fire of the other 2. So first attack, he gets a +6, that's a 19, that's a hit. Second attack at -2, that's a miss. And third attack, that essentially would be a +2, it'll be 17, just missed. Boom, flew right by its head. But one of those hits, he does 2d8 points of damage. And he does 10 to that same one. Now, he is going to use a fate point to increase that damage, an additional d6. So he's going to use a fate point. And roll an additional d6 of damage. And that's enough to send that robot into the sewage. So that robot is out of commission. Which now brings us to Crotal of Thakor. He is going to attack. He has a shotgun and the standard issue blaster pistol, but he's aching to use his combat shotgun, even though he doesn't. He gets a better plus with his blaster. Yeah, I think he's going to use his blaster pistol. No, I guess we'll use the combat shotgun. No, that's on his back. He's gonna pull out his blaster pistol and fire. Same kind of rate of fire thing. First one's at +6, that's a hit. Second one's at +4, 16, just a miss. And the third one is at +2, and that is not enough. So he does get 1 hit on that one there. Does 12 damage. Wow, nice. So that one is down. Oh, not down. Down some hit points. All right, so now the robots. This one, I believe their movement is 30 feet as well. Let me double check the book. 20 feet. All right, so 5, 10. That's plus getting out of there, plus walking through the sewage. That's as far as he goes. He does not get within range to attack. This one, however, does and gets out of the sewage and attacks Sethor. Now it punches at him with its fists. And its hit die is 4, so it gets +4 to its attack. And since it has 2 fists, I'm going to give it 2 attacks. Why not? First attack. Ooh, that's a hit. Second attack. That's an absolute miss. And it actually has an imploding die that can happen. So -4, like, it doesn't even come close to hitting him. All right, so he does get hit once. That is a... Did I say he can hit once? No, what the heck, he'll get hit once anyway. D6 damage, he does 5 damage to Sethor. Oh, watch it. So Sethor is taking that damage. Okay. And his hit points started out at 11. So that was a good solid hit. All right, and let me record their other ones. Casella is at 7 hit points, and Crotal is at 11. All right, so... Okay. All right, so now it's initiative again. D10s plus dexterity modifiers. He got a... Sethor's dexterity modifier is 2, so he's at 7. The robots are at 6. Once again, Casella goes first, and 4, 5. So it's going to go Casella, Sethor, Crotal, and the robots. So Casella leans over and fires around Crotal at the one coming down the hall. And if she rolls an imploding die, she may end up hitting Sethor. And first shot is a 16, that's a miss. Second one's at +4. Ooh, that is a hit. And the third one is at +2, and that's a miss. So she hit one of her 3 shots of her blaster pistol. Pew, pew, pew. And she is going to do 2d8 damage. That is 7 damage to that one. Still up, still heading their direction. All right, and then Sethor turns around. I'm not sure about the rules about, I think, yes, no, ranged weapons in combat, I think in this game have -4 to hit. But because he has a pistol, I'm going to say that doesn't apply to pistols, but it does apply to like rifles, shotguns, and so forth. So he's going to fire off 3 blasts quickly. Oh, that is a miss, and it's an imploding die. Tell you what, I'm going to roll. If this die explodes, then his gun jams. Oh, it explodes. So his gun really jams. So he gets no other shots off. So his gun jams up. Uh-oh. Okay. Then my cat has come to play. So at this point, Crotal, preferring hand-to-hand combat, quickly holsters his blaster, moves forward, and has his Declar, a rather large blade that was across his back the other way, opposite the shotgun, whips it off around the back, and swings at the robot with all of his might. Now this is one attack at +4, and that is a crit. So in this game, when you hit a natural 20, you roll an additional d6 worth of damage, and those dice can explode, and it does not, or not damage to hit. No, wait. Damage. I'm gonna have to check the rules real quick. Exploding dice. Oh man. Sorry, folks. Sometimes you have to look things up in the middle of the game. 276. All right, let's go look. All right. Exploding dice. So now total. He adds that strength bonus in his level for a whopping zone. 36 exploding 30 again. Encourage you choose. Firstly, roll. Extraordinary successes. So you know what? I think as an extraordinary success, I guess I can decide that that's added damage. Sure, why not? Okay. So he hits him really hard. So it's gonna be a d12 plus 7 damage. So 11 points of damage, and that is enough to crush, like literally crush the robot, and it topples over into the sewage. And then next is the robot, and he takes 2 swings at Sethor and gets 14. I don't think that's enough. It's Sethor. Not Sethor, Sethor. So that's 14. His armor class is 18 thanks to the ballistic vest that they are wearing. The composite armor that they wear, which is standard issue for Galaxy Force agents. All right, initiative. All right, so, ew. So, but once again, Casella, man, she is the initiative maven. She doesn't want to fire into that melee though. So she's going to go over and she says, try not to knock it into the sewage. We could try to hack its mind. Yeah, right. All right, and so that's going to be her action. And then the robot takes 2 swings at Sethor. 15 missed, and 9 missed, and Sethor, his pistol has jammed. So he doesn't have too many other options right now. He has a vibro knife, so he'll whip that out, power it up, and attack. +2 to hit. And that is a 9. That is not enough, so he misses. All right, so that brings us to Crotal. He says, out of the way. Where do you want me to go? I don't care anywhere here. And he's charging like, no. So he has no choice but to jump into the sewage. And Crotal comes forward and swings down his Duclar. And 7 plus 4 is 11. That's kind of anticlimactic, but he's going to use two fate points to allow it to hit. Sure, why not? All right, and so he does D12 plus 3 damage. He does 15. See, that was worth it right there. Boom! Not enough to take it down, though. Not enough to take it down. All right, so initiative. All right, so Sethor is first, Robot is last, and Crotal is second. So Sethor's like, he climbs out, gross, and starts to unjam his pistol. Crotal swings again with his Duclar, and that is a miss. And then Casella is like, gets a little closer, and she goes, "Oh, apparently the anti-odor filters here don't apply when it's on your pants." Yeah, thanks for that. And then the robot punch, ooh, hits, lands a punch on Crotal, and does D6 damage, and does 4 damage to Crotal. Okay. All right, next is initiative. Sethor, Casella, Crotal, the robots, and Sethor. All right, so Casella, she doesn't do anything. Crotal swings down with his Duclar, hits armor class 14. That is unfortunately not enough. He gets punched by the robot, and that is not enough. And then Sethor takes another round to unjam and reload his blaster pistol, and that brings us to initiative. Crotal, ooh, no. The robot. Crotal and Casella go at the same time. And then Sethor is last. So the robot pounds 2 fists. 18, that is enough. That's one of those as a hit. And does a D6. 2 damage, more. On Crotal. Crotal swings with his Duclar. Hits armor class 16. Still not quite enough, and he doesn't want to use another fate point. Casella does not want to take a shot. She knows she'll hit her friend, so she is just going to stand by. And then Sethor is going to, well, she says, "Oh, you're harmed." She walks up and applies medical aid to Sethor. Now, I gave her a medikit. I didn't really see any stats for medikit. If I did, I missed it. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to have a medikit. I'm going to make her have a healing test, and the medikit will add +4 to that roll. I will make it a wisdom, which she has a primary attribute, so that's going to be a 12 base. She gets +1 for her wisdom. So that's going to be, so it's a 12 base, and she's at +1 for her wisdom. I'm giving her her level, so that's another 1, so that's +2, +4, so that's a +6. Now, his wounds, he is down 4 hit points, so I'm going to make that the level, difficulty level, to add to the 12, so it's a 16. So she needs to get a 16, and she has +1, +2, +6. And she gets it, and she heals him a D6 +2, I'm going to say, well, because of the med kit. D6 +2 hit points, which should be enough to bring him up to full. It is. She has taken care of his wound with a medikit. Advanced Sci-Fi medikit. All right. And then And then Sethor has finally managed to unjam his blaster pistol, and he is just waiting for his buddy to finish off this tin can. And he says so. Finish off that tin can, Crotal. And it's initiative. Woo! Crotal is inspired by the words of his team leader. And so Crotal is going to attack with his Duclar, and that is a crap. That's a 17. Oh my gosh, he just missed. Oh, forget it. He's using it. He's using a fate point. He needed 1 point, and that's what he got. Fate is a fickle mistress, and so he hits for another d12 plus 3 damage, and that's 15, and that is enough to sink this robot. It slouches down on the ground. All right. Let me take a look at this thing. So, Sethor's like, yeah, hold on. I'm going to try to hack into its brain. All right, so I'm going to have him use a computer skill. I'm going to say that's part of his investigative powers, so that's going to give him he has a data pad, so he's going to jack the data pad into the robot, into its brain. He is going to, so it's going to be intelligence. It's going to be intelligence, so that's a 13. So that's going to put our base at 12 because it's a primary attribute. This robot is, I'm going to give it a 4 challenge level, so make it a 16. So he has a 16 to do it. He has an intelligence modifier plus 1. I'm going to give him his level, so that's plus 2 total. And then since he has the data pad and computer assistance, I'll add another plus 4. So he's at plus 6. So he needs to roll a 10 to get this done. So we'll see if that happens. So, oh. All right. So I rolled a 1. All right, so that's going to be an imploding die. So I'm going to roll, see how bad it is. All right, so that's not too bad. So he is unable to assess the brain of the creature, but it's not enough to do any damage to the brain, so he's going to try again. But this time, if he rolls a natural 1, he is going to do damage to the robot brain and not be able to pull any information from it. So guess what? Bad news. Bad news, guys. I was unable to pull any information out of his mind. And so he detaches the data pad. Too bad. That would have helped a lot. What is this leader they're talking about? I don't know, but I'm starting to think that this conspiracy is a conspiracy, maybe even an assassination attempt. More to be revealed. We need to be extra careful going forward. I think this is more than just some rogue robot. Agreed. I agree as well. All right, well, that's where we're gonna end this episode. Thank you for watching, and we'll see where this story leads next time on Mage Hammer's Game Table. All right, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for all your support. Keep those comments coming. Let me know how you're liking this series and how you're liking Amazing Adventures. And until next time, keep on rolling dice and playing games. Mage Hammer out.